I probably should have done this while I still had this all available, but I decided how I'm doing this whole documentary a little bit later on. So back in there, honestly, at this point, I have no clue where it's at, but I do have video of it when it was out, so I'll try and reference that part. But this is just a random wire here. We go into the headlight relay, attach it to the wire in there, and put the clip back into its harness. That comes out to this red and yellow striped wire that goes to the control unit plug. This is part of the wiring harness from the R7. I basically jacked this out of. The black and the yellow black striped wire are both grounds. So those I have going into, if you pop the backing off of this, is the headlight original OEM. I think it's 9003 or 9005. Just soldered that to the back into the ground on that guy, which I believe is, I can't really tell what color that is, honestly. That one right there, that wire. So you can always just splice into that. And then the yellow off of the control unit goes into the high beam. What is it? I think it was the high beam positive. 86 will be your high beam positive switch. 30 is your ground. And 85 is also ground. Which I have both of the grounds then going into another just random wire that I fed into that right there. Took me a long freaking time to figure all this out, and I basically end up using a helper on Reddit for this whole mapping this out, along with the guy who, I'm gonna have to put these names in here somewhere, basically did a whole second or third gen, whichever uses the same HID system from the the MT07. He converted the old Fz07 to the new MT headlight, so I'm using his video for reference, and then for the whole relay I needed help with that. So as you can tell, it's just a whole shit fest at the moment, but this will all get cleaned up hopefully soon. Okay, so update on the switch wire for this guy. So both the toggle and the pass both run off of the yellow wire in the plug. So we are running our 86 pin on the relay into the yellow wire on the control switch, because that was a fun night of figuring that out. Hopefully this is the right wire. So since it's all been tested and verified, we are just going through and now shrink wrapping everything else. Another tip I learned while I was doing a bunch of stuff. When you have multiple plugs of the same type, just mark a couple of them. So I marked this one 0, and that one with an X, and then this one was just random 2 lines. And so on the bike, I'll have, for example, this will be my ignition. This one is marked with 0. So I know that that's that guy. Yeah, shouldn't be too bad. Most of this stuff is pretty self-explanatory, but sometimes I'll run into, which plug is this? So right now this is just my bypass for the digital guard dog, since I don't have a key ignition. Crap. This is my wireless, or my keyless. Oh, it's such a mess right now. So I'm just trying to get it to a point where we can test the light out. So it's definitely a mess at the moment. But all this will get cleaned up here soon enough. Hopefully I can test it out real quick. Basically this whole thing, this whole relay right here is just to get to the high beam to work. Which I guess if you know relays, it's really not a big deal, but I didn't. So for me, it was definitely a big project to try to learn. Allegedly, that is our switch wire that is going to flick this relay here. Now we had to put in to get the high beam to turn on. So we'll give it a shot. Basically just tack soldered that switch from the relay. And now we get to plug this girl back in right here. Now we're going to connect the battery and hopefully she doesn't burn the house down. I'm honestly really nervous about this part, because I am in no shape or form an electrician, and this bike has been all torn apart. There's no fuel in it at the moment. I've got all these bare wires not touching anything, so we should be okay. So much easier since I put that glue in the battery. Now, I've been told in automotive batteries, contrary to what I've been thinking and doing for years, you actually apparently want to do positive off first, positive on first. Since the black is what grounds it, that's what completes a circuit. So you do the ground less, it's supposed to create less spark. Keys in the hole. Come on, baby. Oh, maybe we should plug the light in. We're plugging in the control unit, as they call it. It's basically just a ballast. Oh, shit. And that is a $300 light and ballast. So definitely don't want to let that fall. All right. Wires. Hot wires are not touching metal or ground. Gosh, this is so sketchy. So sketchy. Oh, it's doing stuff. Oh, we're so doing stuff. Okay. Oh, right, it's gotta be running. Shit. Oh, we do have a check engine code on. Well, that's annoying.